Kiwi. Time to talk to the voice of the creative economy, Vincent Heeringa at idealogue.co.nz. Morning, Vincent.
Good morning, Wammo.
And today we're going sailing. We're heading the high seas and looking for the opportunities under the ocean around New Zealand.
We're going to hit the low seas, actually. We leave the high seas alone.
Oh, okay. We're going to keep it safe.
Keep it safe, and we'll leave the fish in the ocean where they belong.
Okay.
Because we eat too much fish, well, at least we fish too much fish. And, all around the world, fish stocks are under incredible pressure.
Yeah.
And some of them, orange roughy being one of them, we thought that there was a boundless supply of orange roughy, but now the science is suggesting, at least at the very best, we don't know. We really don't know. At the very worst, we may have just about depleted that fish stock. But,
it's man's great folly, isn't it? We go around the earth going, there's unlimited everything. And then we find out, oh, no, there's not. Sorry, was wrong about that.
No, well, there's unlimited imagination, but there is limited resources. And so we have to, the whole proposition behind Idealogue is what are the ideas that we bring to this? And one of the ideas that's happening in New Zealand right as we speak is that aquaculture is on the rise. There's actually you could almost call it a quiet revolution is underway with the amount of fish farming that is being invested in and developed and quite successfully exported. And not many New Zealanders know about this, I suspect, because for almost 10 years there's been a moratorium on fish farming, or at least expanding and investing in fish farming in New Zealand, and not just fish farming but aquaculture in general, which includes oysters and mussels and clams and other forms of sea life. And the reason for that is because there was a whole bunch of environmental restrictions, resource management restrictions, concerns about pollution, concerns about disease that needed to be settled before the green light could be given. But that green light has now been given, and since late last year, 1st of October in fact, a new law was passed that will allow for the expansion of the aquaculture industry. And Wammo, it's looking pretty good. I mean, just in terms of overall export, at the moment it's about a $3 million export business. It's about just under 300 million.
300, right?
And we consume locally at just under 100 million. So it's getting close to a $400 million business. But the expectation is in the next 10 to 15 years is that would grow to about $1 billion.
Yeah.
Which would put it about the same size as the wine industry in terms of, kind of total sales.
So what are some examples? Well,
we produce a very unusual type of mussel in New Zealand. It's the green lip mussel. It's not absolutely indigenous and unique to New Zealand, but we do produce it in quite unique quantities. Oysters, clams, salmon, experimenting with hapuka. So the three principal ones are oysters, mussels and salmon. And one of the attributes in New Zealand aquaculture is that we do, thanks to the kind of scientific approach to it, we do actually have quite high environmental standards, both for the feed and for the output and the treatment of the animals as well.
Yeah. Because there are some examples around the world where that isn't the case. You get mass pollution around aquaculture, but it's good that those environmental constraints are in there.
Yeah, there's two major problems with fish farming. One is, there's multiple, but the two major ones are what goes in. So even though the fish are being farmed, the feed that goes into the fish will often come from the ocean. And so, there is still fishing of wild stocks being done to feed the fish farms. Mm. And then there's excuse my French, there's the crap that comes out the other end. What do you do with it, with the contaminated water? And there's also problems with expansion of farms in quite sensitive habitats, in these kind of shallow waters.
Yeah.
And you see some aerial pictures in places like Southeast Asia where whole estuaries have just completely being filled with fish farms. So there are some absolute dangers. But just in terms of scale, Wammo, in 1980, only 9% of the world's fish came from seafood came from farms, and by the end of 2025, they reckon that's going to be up to 60%. So it just shows you the expansion has just been phenomenal, and New Zealand's been missing out internationally, but not anymore.
And also saw recently someone was quite keen to get their harvesting of kelp underway.
Oh yes.
There's a huge opportunity there to harvest seaweed and kelp.
Yeah. Well, people eat seaweed, don't they? You can roll your sushi up in it.
And
but yeah, it's a very interesting industry and a huge amount of R&D and science in it. And the final point, Wammo, is that because of the high quality nature of our aquaculture, we get, it's a bit like our wine industry. We actually get a premium price for it. So this is exactly the sort of knowledge economy, sort of brainy approach to resources that we need to be doing in New Zealand, of making stuff in a sustainable way and achieving a premium price.
Excellent. Vincent Heeringa is at ideologue.co.nz and V Heeringa on Twitter as well. Thanks very much, Vincent. Cheers.
Thank you.
Is now